usually the people I've interviewed so far, I've known them, 6 degrees of separation, just like you. So I know a little bit about you, but I like these legacy interviews to be more about you. You've done enough of, I am Lucy Lawless and I'm fabulous and here's my role in promoting films. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to know who you were. What makes you tick? What's in your soul? What makes you smile? What makes you laugh?
Well, here's a speech I prepared earlier.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So
go for it.
Yeah.
Winkle it out.
So who is Lucy? What made you get into film and acting? What was your family like?
I have no immediate family in the business at all. And coming from New Zealand, there's very few role models of people from my country who have made it overseas, to look at. There were a couple, Kiri Takano, an opera singer. There were a few actresses who had gone to RADA and were theatre actors in London. But remember, I was growing up in an age where there was no internet. So if you wanted to find out information about how to get to a big drama school overseas, you'd have to go to the British consulate, look up phone books. You'd have to phone, ask them to mail out information. Anyway, it was tremendously hard, and I was quite alone in that process. In fact, having a lot of brothers, I learned to be very, very careful about expressing my ambitions because it was seen as being really conceited and to be a show-off.
How many brothers do you have?
5 brothers.
5 brothers.
And just the New Zealand sensibility is you're not allowed to think you're better than other people. You mustn't display it. And anything about showing off is read as you think you're better than me. We have a slight, historically, this poor relationship with exhibitionism or winning, actually. So, and that's we're losing that from our culture now, thankfully. But I had to be a very quiet operator in expressing what I wanted to do because nobody thought it was possible to be an actress overseas and to be successful.
In what age were you?
Oh, that would have been in my teens.
Your teens.
But my first inkling of wanting to be an actress was probably about 7 or 8 years old when I saw Snow White on the stage. And the black light came out and all the paint fluoresced and there were flowers and fairies and things all of a sudden appeared and I saw magic and I had to be there. There was nowhere on this earth that I wanted to be but on a stage.
So when you started taking lessons, did you have innate talent or did your teacher say, oh my God, you're a star, you're fabulous, or did they say, we got to work with you quite a bit?
That star, that wasn't it's not part of the culture of New Zealand to say, oh my God, you're a star, but I would always get the role, so I guess I showed in the aptitude. And my girlfriends and I, we'd put on little plays and performances all the time. That was our play, was to put on shows. So, yeah.
So when you were with your brothers at home, did you guys play? Did you do anything?
Oh no, I would tuck mum's scarves into my knickers and try to be a ballet dancer, put records on my mother's record player and dance to classical music. And my brother, Bill the Builder, all my brothers are tradesmen, right? Bill the Builder came and go, you're so up yourself, Lucy. If you were any more up yourself, you'd be inside out. And I was like 9, and I was being a little girl on her own, daring to express art and beauty and movement and stuff, and it's like, that was read as, you're so conceited and a show-off, stop it.
Interesting. I have a Middle Eastern background. It's the same thing. Women just look good, but keep your mouth shut. You never overshadow a guy. You don't ever show off. The same things. It's really, putting a muzzle on. You don't have a voice. Just be present and let the men do their thing.
Really?
So
no, I want to interview you. It's not that. It's not that. Because looking good, it wasn't in, at least my family culture is not really valued. It's not enough to be pretty. You have to be hardworking. You have to be
women too.
Clever. Oh, women.
Yes. Oh,
especially,
okay.
Yeah, looking good is almost frowned upon. That's part of that showing off thing.
Yes.
So it's not the same, but I know. I'd like to interview you about that.
Yeah, it's very interesting when you're brought up to think, oh, you just have to look pretty and don't be smart, don't be anything else. That's your role as a woman. And keep your mouth shut and have no talents and know nothing. And if you do,
that's horrifying.
It is, right? Yeah, and never even make your own money, because if you make your own money, that means you have no value unless a man wants to take care of you. So it's like a lot of psychological stuff I had to get over. So with
That
your
is so galling to me.
yes, but even with you weren't allowed to just really
Well, you're not-
explore yourself.
Well,
to
you're
the
not supposed to be overtly sexy. You're not
Yes.
supposed to be any of that. You're supposed to. Well, at least this is my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got. I just had to be tough because my
what's-
brothers would, call me out on anything being girly. So I had to be a tough girl, which has been actually. It's taken me 40 years to realize the value of softness and vulnerability because I had to be invulnerable, or at least present myself that way. It's been a hurdle for me in life.